Alright, let's go. Wait, all these goons are dead already? What did I do? Oh, I've already went there and gotten him. Huh.
Watch out! Who's there?
Fine by me. Need to talk about something? Assuming an NCR pardon comes with the job, and it better. I also need to be able to do things my own way. Due process has its place. Sometimes it's just a waste of time. I'll need to know that I'm not going to end up right back in prison. When I need to, yes. All right then. Guess I'll just make a quiet exit. No need for a goodbye party or anything.
Even if you don't use him, I'm pretty sure when you do that, he's... Yeah, there he is.
Have you gotten my pardon? There's an NCR camp down there on the southern border of Nevada. Camp Mojave, I think. Try to find someone of authority there. Watch yourself out there.
Yeah. I like making him spawn in Prim. Even if he doesn't be sheriff.
Hello? Yeah? I'm not surprised. Criminals like to act tough, but they're no match for military discipline. We know Prim is a great strategic point, and we aren't blind to the needs of the town, but we're barely holding our own against the powder gangers. We don't have the guns or the personnel needed to carry out our mission, much less take on defending this town as well. What we need more than anything is bodies. If we had just one more squad, we could easily install a sheriff and still handle our primary objective of protecting the interstate south of here. If you'd like to see the NCR include protection of Prim and its duties, then you'll have to get some more troops up here. Knight at Mojave Outpost may be able to help. Ma'am?
Hey, youngster. Still hanging about Prim, huh? Now, your guess is as good as mine. You might luck upon someone who's a natural-born sheriff. I heard of one fellow what got himself locked in that NCR jailhouse up I-15, and maybe that ain't the best credential, but a sheriff's a sheriff. I imagine the NCR would be able to bring some law to the town, too, but from what I seen, they barely got the firepower to protect themselves. Well, I guess I never thought of that. I guess he could be sheriff. If you think he could be reprogrammed for it. Finally decided to make yourself useful, huh? If you can bring the law back to Prim, we'll all be in your debt. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, bye.
Do-do-do-do-do. Where are they? It's taking a while to spawn in. There they are.
You shouldn't have crossed the powder gamers. Now you're going to pay.
Oh, he's over here. Damn it. Do I have any slasher yet? No.
Fine by me.
Give me that shit. Let's do one for stability. But it's chugging. Oh, that's right, MedX. Wonder if my damage threshold is lowered though. I didn't take compounded, did I? Huh, that's weird.
Come on!
Fine by me. Fine by me. Fine by me.
There's one more somewhere up here, right? I think party time Mentats on it.
Hey there. Need anything?
Fine by me.
Welcome. Come on. Welcome back. Sure thing. Have a look. Come back soon now.
Fine by me.
Welcome back. Sure thing. Have a look. Hey, you can't. Welcome back. Sure thing. Have a look.
How do you make that sound again? It's mob. That's how you do it. I can't fucking do it.
Hey,
Hi there. Looking to spend some caps? Our patrols are always bringing more stuff in. Take a look.
Hell yeah. Let's go. I don't wear helmets. Helmets are for dorks.
Give me a shout. Bye.
Let's go. Take the hat. What do I want to carry as like a walking around outfit? I guess the trader outfit. Wait, that was only 3,000. That means I have enough to go get an implant. I need to go do that. Now that I've got my super cool new armor, I can do that for sure. That means I'll also be able to get cast soon. Because now I'm going to head up there and I'll get the quest for that. Oh, okay, those are the bullet flies, I think. I gotta be careful because I think from here even you can see. But I don't want the cazadors to come over. Ooh, I should wait for these guys to get ambushed by the mercenaries so I can pick up their corpses. Pick the stuff off their bodies. I hate how the little recon hat looks. Did you know that Combat Armor Reinforced Mark II is some of the only medium armor that is affected by Travel Light and Light Touch? It's basically the reason you can do light armor builds. Light armor perk builds for challenges like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have invested a single light armor perk and just went for power armor ASAP. I could have sworn one of the goons that spawned in here has a grenade rifle. That's why I deleted it a little bit. Give me those caps.
Howdy, little lady. My story's a long one, friend, and I can't say as it's all that interesting. Well, I was born in a little town out Montana way. Me and Ma didn't have much ever since my pa up and left. That he did. Never did know why. Ma always said he was a real mysterious fella, even when he was with her. Like he was a stranger sometimes.
That's the name of the perk.
Maybe. Maybe I just never felt like I belonged back home. It sure wasn't easy. Ma worked her fingers to the bone to make sure we had enough to survive. And I worked the coal mines from when I was 15. After Ma died, I guess I wanted to find my pa and get some answers from him. Been out here looking ever since. But he ain't an easy man to find. Can't say as I really know. Maybe I'll just ask him why. Maybe I'll punch him right in the mouth. Hell, the more I talk about it, the more the whole damn thing sounds like a dumb idea.
Because it is.
Maybe I should. Don't suppose you know any place a fella with a guitar might find a job, huh? Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Oh, this whole thing? Why, thanks, friend. This here guitar is just about the only thing my daddy left me. Long time ago now. I never even knew him. Ma always said he was a mysterious fella, always traveling on in secret. Just about my whole life, ever since my daddy left Ma and me and went off to roam the wastes. So long, friend.
Welcome to the 188 Slop and Shop. How can I help you? Name's Michelle. My dad and me run this store. His name's Samuel. I take the day shift and he takes nights. We came here about a month ago when Prim went to hell on account of the prison break north of there. Found a bin to call home and set up shop. There's more to the 188 than meets the eye. Troops move back and forth on 93 all the time, and 95 is how NCR folks come and go from Vegas. No shortage of customers, so long as Legion raids south of here don't get worse anyways. You do know these old roads were numbered, right? We're standing where the 95 and 93 meet, and 95 plus 93 equals 188. Not much. I hear some folks got killed down by Nelson. Or was it Novak? I don't know. If they come up this way, me and Dad'll go someplace else. Have a look.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. Bye.
Hey. No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from? Yeah, guess the roads must have been long then, if you forgot where you started from. Well, welcome then. I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground. Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family, whatever they need. Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level? I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them? Wow. I've got to admit, you have completely defied my first impression of you. Eye lasers. I'll be sure and look out for that next time. Any other juicy bits of intel? And? That seems wise. I think I am too, although for how much longer, I'm not sure. Hey, so where are you headed anyway? Ooh, very exciting. Gonna strike it rich, huh? I'll be honest, you're the first person I've run across out here that looks like she can really handle herself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together, help each other out. Like I said, they can handle themselves. And I'm not the only one getting supplies for them. It's a big family. Oh, nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world. Looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from. Good. That's the look I was going for. Trust me on this one, though. You'll be glad you brought me along. If I turn out to be a burden, we can part ways at any time. No hard feelings. Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I ask you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along? Sure, just don't ever ask me if your outfit makes you look fat. Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand. Let's hit the road, huh? What's up? Am I punching too much? I get carried away. What are you saying exactly? They'll never see the haymakers coming. See? I'm good at stuff. My recommendation? More punching. Does jumping at them with my fists count as ranged? Fine. Yeah, shake things up a little. He was dead when I got there. It pays like ass, but it's hard to get other work with my skill set. What do you want to know? Good question. These days, it's hard to say. Once upon a time, it was about technology, controlling it so it couldn't destroy us again. Energy weapons and power armor are usually tops on our list, although I appreciate anything that's vintage. But that all seems so limited now. We haven't grown or adapted, and now we're stuck in a hole, not carrying out our mission. More sexual favors than I can even count. I am still tired from it. No, actually, you're born into it. My parents, their parents, so on. When you're young, you can choose to leave, but it's home, so most people don't. We don't take on new members, really. You can do the math on our long-term prospects based on that point. I keep hoping we'll change that. I'm a procurement specialist. Like I said, it's basically grocery shopping, except sometimes the groceries are scavenged parts and arcane technology. The elder who brought us to the Mojave, Father Elijah, usually had me looking for these old memory units, but he'd never tell me what they were for. Nowadays, I'm usually sent to do business with traders at places like the 188, but sometimes I think it's just to keep me out of everyone's hair. I I know sometimes I sound like I don't. I know. But there's something that still rings true to me about our code. There's an honor to it. We're protecting people, even if it's from themselves. It's a good cause. We just lose sight of the big picture sometimes, treat all our practices with the same sacredness. Ah, the Codex. If it's in there, we have to abide it. If it's not important. It documents our history too. Part of what scribes like me do is update it. I wonder. Nah, they'd probably catch it if I rewrote the Founder's axioms. No. We only protect people from themselves, and only in the sense that we don't let them have the really good pre-war toys. And sometimes it's more like we protect ourselves from them and hope to outlive them and become humanity's sole heirs. We've had people go rogue, though, and start helping people. One chapter had a small civil war over it. We take our isolationism seriously. He was our elder when we came east. A wizard with technology, really. His mind just worked that way, naturally. I learned a lot from him. But he started having disagreements with the other elders. The Brotherhood's interest is in old technology. He wanted to explore developing new tech. And there were other ways he wanted to push, other weapons, ones with ethics questions attached. Rather than deal with him, they sent him east. Darn it! I had some spectacular answers coming too. This better not be about the meaning of life. It pays like ass. What do you want to know? I called them family before. That's not far off. Both the good and the bad. It's like a big, unending family reunion in that bunker. There's people you love, people you'll never speak to again, and it's always awkward when you run into someone you used to date. Darn. Am I punching too much? Well, when two people really love each other, you really don't know this stuff yet? It was a dam, really. We'd heard rumors it was working. Figured we could claim it, put it to use. And it may also have been partly that our elder at the time had worn out his welcome. Didn't end up mattering. We got sidetracked at Helios 1, and the NCR took the dam in the meantime. We're still after it, though. In theory. Darn! Ooh, do I get a prize if I answer right? Yep, it's your typical city layout. Rich people in a gated community surrounded by extreme poverty. House gave the area around the strip to the locals, but he has no interest in it, so he ignores it entirely. It just needs new management. I'd love to see the Brotherhood do it, but since the Codex doesn't say clean up Freeside, no one listens to me. Bunch of sticklers. I was told we wouldn't be tested on this. I'm worried there'll be the death of the Brotherhood. They take what they want. We defend our interests to the death. But there's a handful of us and tens or hundreds of thousands of them, so it's not going to end well. Last time we clashed, we lost a lot of people. Retreated to our bunker. Now we're afraid to even move around during the day. A lifetime supply of Fancy Lad snack cakes, revenge against my enemies, and world peace. In that order. Silliest dressed band of raping, slaving marauders you'll see east of California. I'll say that. Where's that touch of old world class? Although, I hear the soldiers mount each other as much as they mount their women, so maybe they did keep a little something from the Empire. No such privilege for the women, though. Figures. So, to answer your question, they're a bunch of hypocritical jerkwads. It's a word. I like long walks in the desert and candlelit metal workshops. I like punching things, but sometimes shooting things just has to do. Yeah, I've been taking things apart and putting them back together since before I said my first word. You want to build something? Talk to me, and we can do it right there on the spot. Workbenches are for novices. Who knows? I might even be able to show you a Brotherhood trick or two.
He's trying to go get my pants because it's getting cold in here. I'll fucking knock something over.
My favorite subject. I want a dress. Yeah, a good one. Something elegant and classy, you know? But still stylish. Something that's eye-catching and sexy, but also says, don't fuck with me. I keep hoping I'll come across some old-world designer gown when I'm scavenging, but it never happens. Maybe I should move back to California. Hey, you try getting a date wearing scribe robes. Might as well be wearing sweatpants. I just like them, you know? They make you feel like a woman. Those ladies before the war, they knew what they were doing. Can I make it up? I would say he was my tutor, but that doesn't cover it. After my parents passed, he looked after me. The whole brotherhood brought me up, really, but he made sure of it. I never had a grandfather, not that I knew anyway, but Elijah was in some ways what I'd imagine a grandfather to be. It was by his request, actually. He cleared it with the other elders. Somehow. They sent him to look into the dam. There was a time when I'd have begged to follow, watch him at work. He did. For years, he fought with the council, taught me to question our direction. Meanwhile, he'd become more out of touch than all of them. On our way east, he demanded we stop at Helios 1 to examine it. While we were there, we received word that the NCR had taken the dam. He was furious. Called it children playing with a bomb, but he was mad because we'd lost its power. What we'd use it for. He didn't even care. They're cautious. When they discover something, they respect it, learn its limits, consider how to preserve it. Used to drive Father Elijah crazy. He liked to learn limits too, but only so he could push them. That's not to excuse the other elders, though. They all covet technology for its own sake. Some are just more fanatical than others. Yeah, I did. I couldn't help him. He just didn't listen, and the idea that people talk back to him... If he could have made the Brotherhood act like machines, ordering them around with the push of a button, he would have. Elijah could look at an old device and immediately understand what made it work. And he could see its potential, where it fit with other technology. It's not something he could teach, but he tried with me. Some of it stuck. But that's what he taught me. You ask what I learned from him. I learned what I don't want to become. In the end, there was just him and his vision. Nothing and no one else. Yeah, I miss him. Like what? Just my parents, but they haven't been around for a long time. Dad was a paladin, Mom was a scribe. They died in the same battle, trying to hold off the NCR from... something. I don't remember what it was. Guess it seemed important at the time. Like what? Ever been nosy? I was, once. We were pretty young, but I like to think it was love. She left the Brotherhood. Wanted to put some distance between herself and her parents. Since our membership isn't open to outsiders, some members think that obligates all of us to procreate. You can guess which camp her parents belong to. No. Couldn't bring myself to leave everyone else behind. Couldn't convince her to stay either. I'd hoped love would be enough to influence her decision, but it wasn't. We were both too stubborn. I don't know where she is now, but I'm sure she's moved on. I still think about her, though. Once in a while. Like what? If you take trying to keep me as far away from Hidden Valley as possible because I ask too many difficult questions as a sign of respect, oh yeah. That's not to say I don't get along with them. I just think they don't know what to do with me sometimes. Nowhere specific. I just know there are a lot of groups who are actually doing well for themselves out here. I want to understand how and why. See them at work. Ooh, got any juicy gossip? I was young and I needed the money. Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress? Step into my office.
See you around.
I don't have to go through all that again, so we're going to save right there in case it crashes. Alright. Neat. You have 2 followers. I'm very transparent that I have a mod in that allows me to get all the followers. However, this is not because I'm changing what's possible within the game. It is for convenience sake. So, we're going to do a little speedrunner tactic, and we're going to get Veronica's quest to trigger. And I'm going to show you guys why this is completely fine in my eyes, right? Just gotta go. But essentially... Ugh. I need some water, man. Do you have water in here? What was it saying? I'm getting sidetracked here. We need to take the road that goes towards Grub and Gold. We're on that road. Okay. Veronica has 3 quest triggers. She stops and talks to you about the Brotherhood after each one. Once you activate 3 of these triggers, she'll say, hey, do you have time to talk about my side quest? And then you go, no. And she's like, oh, okay. The dialogue option never disappears from her companion box. So this means that even when she's not a companion, you have the option to talk to her about her side quest. After this... Ugh. Dude, I'm not used to talking during these. I just turned my brain off. After this point, even when she's not a companion, you can talk to her about her companion quest and dismiss her. This sets the flag at 0, even though you already didn't have a companion. So you can then go and recruit, say, Boone, and then while she's not a companion, dismiss Veronica through the dialogue option about her side quest. And then, even though you have Boone, the game acts like you have 0 companions. The fact that it works like this, and that the game is actually still relatively stable with all the companions, means that it was clearly something that they tried to implement and either didn't for balance, or for limitations like stability. And I think that's the bigger reason, is that they couldn't figure out a way to make it stable. Because the game crashes way more when you get up to, like, 5+ humanoid companions. The game just becomes very unstable, prone to crashing, like, areas lag way more. I just like the companions too much. But yeah. So you can do it.
Hey, welcome to the Grub and Go. Just a little rest stop that me and my good friend Lupe set up. Last stop on your way into New Vegas, first stop on your way out. That's what I say. Sure thing. Anything else I can do for you?
Oh.
Pleasure. Sure, fire away. I think there are a few places, but I've heard that the gun runners sell the best. Dr. Usanagi runs a medical clinic up the road. All right, then. See you later.
You need water? I got water. Clean and fresh. Straight from Lake Mead. If you're low on caps, I've also got slightly irradiated wasteland water. A little fallout never killed anybody. Glad to do it. Pleasure doing business with you. The NCR fixed up the pipe network pretty good, and water merchants like me are allowed to have some of it to sell. If we have a water license, of course. Still, it beats the inconvenience of having to trek all the way to the lake to resupply. There's a few independent ones like me, but it's mostly the big trading outfits that deal in water, like the Crimson Caravan Company. Shoot. They won't just let anybody into the strip, but you should be able to have a good time in Freeside itself. Just, keep a close eye on your caps. There are a bunch of crazies hopped up on all kind of drugs. Apparently they're using one of the old vaults as a hideout. The Army should really get in there and wipe them all out, but I guess they've got more than enough trouble to deal with right now. Their main base is right over there by the old airport. It's called Camp McCarron now. Some people like to paint them all as a bunch of bullies. Me? I'm glad they're around. They do what they can to keep things safe and orderly. All right. Until next time.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to get attacked. I should switch to the trading outfit. Bro, I know that the entire, like, oh, you should have been able to do this in the game is so, like, there's already more than enough. I was so fucking pissed when I realized you couldn't explore the top area of all those. Would have been so wicked. Then let's go talk to Frank. So that no matter how I resolve the situation in Cottonwood, I can get his family out. Although you need to pass an intelligence check, if I remember right. Do I have more mentats? I do.
Oh, hello. What can I do for you? My name's Frank Weathers. I'm a farmer, got a few hundred acres near Junktown. Well, I was a farmer. I guess I'm not much of anything now. Why does anybody? I thought I'd strike it rich at the tables, make my fortune, and never have to plow those damn fields again. I just wanted to provide for my family, and now they're gone. All gone. God forgive me. They're cannibals, slavers, and worse. I hear rumors they're poised to overrun the entire Colorado River Valley, and even the Army won't be enough to stop them. One of the officers here, or at Camp McCarron, might be able to tell you more. We were crossing the Mojave, not far from Searchlight, when a band of Caesar's Legion slavers came out of nowhere. They took my family. God help me. I ran. I abandoned my family to those butchers. Not a day goes by I don't hate myself for that. Go ahead, mock me. Nothing you say can be worse than my own shame. You do that for a complete stranger? Thank you, my friend. The Army says they don't have the available manpower, as if the city is more important. From what I've gathered from NCR Rangers, they were most likely taken to Cottonwood Cove. You might start there. Goodbye.
Then let's head to the sharecropper. We gotta talk to Morgan Blake because she likes to bug out of the game for no reason, like 30 hours in. At least she did on Xbox. I don't know how PC works.
Is there something I can do for you? I'm a private in the NCR Army, and I've been proudly serving for 2 years now. Although if you were to ask what I'm doing right this instant, I'm patrolling the farms. It's a safe post, but a little boring. I do get to take shots at marauding mole rats every once in a while, and that's always fun. It's NCR-owned farmland. It produces a lot of the crops that supply McCarron and the dam. The farmers are all civilians, though. They work the farms, and in return they get a safe place to stay and clean food and water.
Some of them aren't all that grateful, though. I shouldn't have brought it up. It's not my place to spread gossip. All right. Some of the farmers, especially Trent Boscom, claim the NCR isn't giving them the water they need to meet their crop quotas. Personally, I think they're just incompetent and making excuses. The NCR ought to send them all crying back to California. Oh, you'd better believe it. I feel sorry for the troops who are charged with keeping the fiends from overrunning everything. The fiends are scary because they're unpredictable. One day, they'll be taking pot shots at you and then running off before you can shoot back. And the next day, they'll come rushing at you, pumped full of drugs and not stopping until you or they are dead. Current orders are to hold the line and nothing more. That's all we seem to do these days. Hold the line. I guess it's a tricky situation since there's a vault in fiend territory. If the NCR went after them, they'd just hole up. I'll help you if I can. What are you looking for? Well, I know Major Daughtry is offering bounties on some of the fiends. That's the gang that controls the southeast part of the city. You can find the Major at the camp just outside of the old airport. The Crimson Caravan Company is north of here. They have just about everything you need. But if you're in the market for guns, go see the gun runners. They're expensive, but they have stuff no one else carries. There's a medic at Camp McCarron, but I've also heard there's a civilian doctor in the northeast part of New Vegas. I don't know for sure. Bye. Oh, you here to work? I think I have an extra shovel around here somewhere. Well, crops aren't doing so well. I'm thinking it might be something in the water. The pump station is pretty run down. You could go take a look around the place, see if you find anything strange going on. What do you say? Thanks, that's great. I should get back to work now. See you around.
Now even if she bugs out, I've got the quest. Blah, 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 blah.
Howdy. Something I could help you with?
Why is his nose so big?
Sure do. Came from the hub on account of the Thaler Act. Farming's decent work, but the whole thing's a bum deal. Something the politicians back in Shady Sands came up with. They pay us to move here and farm the land. They even protect the fields. Bad soil and rationed water. It's to be expected around here. But the rationing's off. Worst part is NCR won't admit it. Pretty hard to meet their crop quotas with 20% less water than we're supposed to be getting. Not that OSI cares about any of this. They're part of the deal, the Thaler Act. We work the fields while they protect the crops and the water. A lot of folks come to New Vegas and lose everything in free side of the strip. They get hungry, desperate, and try to take our hard work. Much as I sympathize, their theft would put me in a bad spot. I got a crop quota to meet. Everything I can. Farmers out here don't have the luxury of being picky. I get by mostly on maize and tobacco. Can do. Adios.
I'm not a recruitment officer. You want to join the Army? I'm sure someone at McCarron can point you in the right direction. The Office of Science and Industry has carefully calculated the amount of water needed for these crops. The whole thing is handled by computer. Besides, most of these crops look fine to me. If the farmers can't handle the job, they shouldn't have signed up in the first place. If there really is a problem, they can take it up with Lieutenant Boyd at McCarron. Farming isn't my department. Impressive, aren't they? You don't see anything like this outside of NCR territory, that's for sure. We get the water, clean water, pumped in from Lake Mead. If you follow the big pipes, they'll take you all the way to the lake. A lot of the crops grown here support the various NCR camps in the region. McCarron, Golf, and Forlorn Hope, to name a few. We can't have wastelanders popping in here for a free meal, so my squad and I are assigned to keep things from going to hell. Carry on.
Got 7. So that means it's the 6 special besides charisma and then subdermal order. Alright, we should get intelligence first.
Welcome to the New Vegas Medical Clinic. I'm a fully qualified physician and can fix whatever is wrong with you for a reasonable fee. If you've got the caps, I've also got several implants available to enhance your physical attributes. No. Implants, not plants. They're little machines I can put inside you to make you faster, quicker, or smarter. I recommend the smarter implant. I've also got 2 much more expensive implants. One's a subdermal implant that will make you more resistant to damage. The other implant induces a mild regenerative effect. Your wounds will practically heal before your eyes. One other thing I forgot to mention. Your body may be able to handle only a limited number of implants. The healthier you are, the more implants I'll be able to give you. Now, what surgery are you considering?
Wait, what? Why isn't the intelligence implant option there?
All right. Which... You... I have reserved a small part of my supplies for sale. The profits go directly to the purchase of additional supplies to help the less fortunate. Very well. All right. Take care.
Hello.
You're back.
Okay, I have no idea why the option was gone. That's weird.
For 4,000 caps, I can install a logic coprocessor. Have a seat in the auto dock. This will take a few hours.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs. Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan. You can find her over in the main office. I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way, so it'll be up to me to get things started. I'll see you around.
Ringo's gonna get fucking massacred by the White Legs. Oh, she's still in the office. There she is.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? Certainly. What would you like to know? The Crimson Caravan Company has been in business for over 130 years. We're partially responsible for the progress in the NCR. Well, the gunrunners continue to dominate the weapons market, and the Mormon traders from New Canaan control the majority of the northern routes. Normally, I oversee company operations at the hub in California. However, the New Vegas branch has been underperforming in recent years. Given the conditions here, it's not hard to see why. I'll change all that soon enough. All right. Is there anything else I can do for you? I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravanners or guards, but I am in need of a runner. Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp McCarron. It's been a pleasure.
Let's go to Discovery Gunrunners. I'll take this stupid fucking hat off. Yeah, there we go. I'm on the grind, you know. Like, I need that crit. But it looks so ugly. Oh, I forgot to mention I upped the difficulty to very hard. Because I was like, if I can have the MF Hyperbreeder, like, before I'm done with Prim, I need to up the difficulty.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something? This is the New Vegas branch of the Gunrunners, supplying the wasteland with only the finest armaments since 2155. All Gunrunner merchandise is constructed on site. This kiosk was specially constructed around me to deter theft and assault. Come back and see us again soon.
I don't handle buying and selling for the Gunrunners. Talk to the robot in the kiosk near our factory. For around 5 years now, I handle the supply end of things, raw materials and stuff. Makers of the finest high-grade weapons and ammunition in the wasteland. You ever get your hands on a piece of sweet, deadly hardware, there's a good chance that it came from one of our factories. None whatsoever. Everything inside the fence is off limits, and the guards have strict orders to shoot to kill. A lot of our high-end weaponry comes from pre-war military schematics. If our competition got a hold of them, it'd be bad for business. Out here, we don't have bosses. Me, the gunsmiths, and the guards all know what we're supposed to be doing. Working for the Gunrunners is a sweet job. None of us would dare screw it up. Later.
Alright. I need to go get some water, and I think my dog wants out. So I will be right back. Let's go talk to Marino. Marino 911.
Looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving. Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well. Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years. I don't do anything. I'm retired. I was a soldier. Why do you even care? I came out here to forget about the past, so quit bringing it up.
In terms of caravans, the biggest market is heading west.
What's up?
Let me guess. You got work for me, right? Well, you're too late. I just quit the bounty trade. As soon as I pick up some caps that Daughtry owes me, I'm out of this scrapyard. Well, shit. Feel free to stick a knife in the old ego. Thought I made a name for myself around here. Guess that's as good a reason as any to quit this stinking trade. No glory. No easy money, no women, and no glory. Shit. I'd settle just for the women. Because I killed a couple of marks for him, that's why. You ever hear of Jackson? Or Night Terror? Of course you didn't, because they crossed paths with Lil Buster. Bam. Dead. Finished. Over. See, somebody gives me a job, I do it. Maybe I complain a little here and there, but my shit gets done. Oh, shit, I don't know. Gotta be at least a month. Longer than I last at most jobs. Oh, yeah. A lot. Like before I was a bounty hunter, I worked as a caravan guard. You'd think that was a cakewalk, right? Wrong. Crazy bastards expected me to wake up at dawn. Forget it. It's about 2 hours after this guy hits the sack. And I need at least 10, 12 hours of sleep to do my job. Price of excellence. Simple. Gonna make myself some easy money. I got a plan. Once I get my caps from Daughtry, I'm going to head on over to Gomorrah and win big at cards. There's not as many people playing at Gomorrah, so that means I've got better odds of winning big. I got this figured out. See, I thought the bounty hunting trade would be easy money, but it turns out it's hard work, so screw it. Also, I ran into this Mark who was a little too tough for me. I mean, I could have taken him. But with this guy, it might have cost me some bad burns or an ass rape. I'm all for risking my life, but I'm a little sensitive about my asshole. Hey, yeah. Next time you see me, maybe I'll be rolling in a shitload of caps, right?
I'm Lieutenant Gorobets, 1st Recon. If you're looking to collect a bounty, you should talk to Major Daughtry. If they've proven hard to kill, yes. Whatever it takes to get the job done, even if it means hiring help from outside the military. We're the finest sniper outfit in the whole NCR. If you need a bullet put into a target's eye from 800 yards away, you call us. Some of my team aren't without their share of scars, though, like Betsy and Sterling. Cook, one of the fiends, ambushed her and 10 of spades. They both managed to escape, but not before Cook raped her. Betsy shrugged it off like it was nothing, but her behavior keeps getting worse. Always making passes at every woman who wanders by. It's inappropriate for anyone in 1st Recon to behave that way. I could discipline her, but I'd rather she get medical help. I'd appreciate it. As her CO, I could order her to get help, but I'd have her agree with the idea. Corporal Sterling was an NCR Ranger until he was captured by the Legion. They tortured him pretty badly. He wasn't able to be a Ranger after that, but his eyes are still sharp, so I had him transferred to 1st Recon. We're the finest sniper outfit in the whole NCR. If you need a bullet put into a target's eye from 800 yards away, you call us. Carry on.
Hey, girl. You need something from me? What gave me away? The big gun, the shades, or the attitude? Ha! You're not as dumb as I thought you'd be. We got the same sense of humor. Probably better to walk away while I still like you, though. All kinds of things piss me off. Like just about anything that anybody says. Not unless you count the fiends as serious. Gorobets keeps us inside the fence most of the time. Doesn't matter to me. I just shoot bad guys. Sooner or later, they'll move us out to the dam, though. That's when the shit gets nasty. Legion fights to win, and they're smart. Hell of a lot smarter than these crazy fiends. But I don't feel bad about shooting Legion boys. Fiends, on the other hand, sometimes I get pangs of conscience. Not often, but sometimes. Some cute little junkie bitch, so fucked up she doesn't even know that she's the bad guy. And I've got a headshot her. Makes me think. Might just be sex, though. I see some cute little number and I'd rather get in her pants. So maybe I'm a stone-cold bitch after all. The lieutenant's been talking to you, hasn't he? Look, I don't need a head doctor. I'm 1st Recon, damn it. You don't see the others crying about every little bruise and scrape, do you? Yeah. Try not to get killed.
Hey there, miss. 10 of spades. 1st Recon sharpshooter. At your surface. Oh yeah, fine. Just a little stutter. Had it since I was a kid. Doesn't stop me from kicking ass. Damn right. The LT, Gorobets gave it to me. See, I wanted to be ace of spades, but the LT says, sorry kid, you're too green. So he calls me 10 instead. It's okay though. I get a few more kills under my belt. He'll move me up to Jack. Jack of spades. Sounds better, right? I keep at it. Eventually I'll make it to ace. Think I'll skip queen though. Shit. As long as I can remember, had a rifle in my hand since I was 3. That's what my dad always says. Learned to shoot on our ramp, way west of here. Same as the LT. He's a farm kid too. Oh, they recruited me, what, a year ago? Taught me to kick even more ass than before. These guys, they really know how to kick some ass. Kicking ass. Mostly kicking ass. See, we're watching the perimeter right now, looking for those fiends to come back. When they show their faces, that's when we go to work. One shot, one kill. That's the first recon way. The LT told you about that? Shit, man. That's shit. It was my fault. See, I was knocked out when it happened. The big guy sneaked up on us. I let Betsy down. She's my goddamn partner. See, we work in pairs. We spot for each other. We watch each other's backs. Nobody wanted to work with me. They said I was too green, but Betsy volunteered. Shit, you don't even know how big a deal that is. She trusts her life to the newbie, and I sit here and let her get raped by that piece of shit. Shit, you sound like the LT. I should have woken up. I shouldn't have gotten knocked out in the first place. That shit was my fault. I don't want to talk about it anymore, alright? Yeah, the LT shouldn't have brought that shit up. Not with civvies, anyway. Ain't right. Oh, but because of what that fuck Cook did? Well, it's not the same thing, but Doc Kusanagi helped me with my stutter. The doc has a clinic north of here. Can't miss it. You should talk to Bitterroot, too. He's been to see the doc, too. No problem. Yeah, I'll see you around.
I never even noticed there's little magazines in here. That's funny.
Wish I had a first recon guy looking after me. I'm Bitterroot, first recon. You got a reason to talk to me? You trying to start trouble? Or do you really not know where I got that name? It's a con name. You know, the great cons. That's what my parents were. I figured I grew up around the bastards. They owed me a name after all they put me through. They're scum. Lazy, trumped-up raiders. Most of the time they're drunk or high, and when they're not shooting chems, they're selling them. Used to have a settlement up at Bitter Springs till they pissed off NCR and got slaughtered for their trouble. A lot of us got killed at Bitter Springs. A lot of them, I mean. My parents died too. Guess not. I don't mean nothing by it. You really want to talk to somebody, try 10 of spades. He's always got plenty to say. Me, I'm here to do my job. For now, that job is shooting fiends. While, I guess. I don't keep too careful track of time. I like to keep things simple. Just focus on now. That's why they made me a sniper. You let your mind wander back a ways and you lose sight of what's in front of your eyes. Good way to miss a mark. You a merc? Well, then I guess you want to talk to my father, Major Daughtry. He's our CO. Yeah, look, he's not my real father. He just looked after me for a while. It's a long story, and I'd get tired of talking before it was through. Ten of Spades really ought to keep his mouth shut, but he's right. There are a lot of things in my past I just couldn't leave behind. It helped. A little. Well, more than a little. Betsy ought to pay a visit to Usanagi since it can't hurt none. All right. Goodbye.
Wish I had a first recon guy looking after me. Howdy. Name's Sterling, first recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had. Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all, and a lot of scouting from place to place. I called her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Gorbets reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, as long as I could hit my targets. Used to be a ranger, one of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays. Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either. Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me, so they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said. Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us. It's a pride thing with her, and totally unnecessary. I mean, look at me. I was Ranger Sterling until the Legion got through with me. I was bitter, but if I kept my mouth shut, the NCR would have discharged me and sent me home. Instead, I asked if there was still a place for me. Had to prove I could still handle a gun alongside all the recruits. Look at me now. First recon and still going strong. You tell Betsy that. Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Count on that.
Who's that last guy? There you are.
What can I do for you? Carry on.
Nah. Yeah, I gotta do it this way.
Hey, girl. You need something from me?
This was none of their business. Or yours. You've got no right to talk to people behind my back about this.
I always wondered about that. First Recon is elite, but the Rangers... I can't imagine what it'd be like to lose that kind of status. I'm guessing the other two had similar things to say. All right, consider me convinced. I'll go see Usanagi. You can tell the lieutenant that I caved, and thanks. Yeah, try not to get killed.
What can I do for you? Yes, the others in the squad said you'd come to them about her. It's a start. But let's hope she sticks with the treatment as long as it's necessary. I'm afraid she'll ditch Usanagi early if she feels it's taking too long. She won't want to look bad in the eyes of the rest of First Recon. Do me a favor and let Usanagi know Corporal Betsy is coming. I'd like to make sure the medical clinic has time for her. Carry on. If it's bad news, you can take it up with the Colonel. If it's good news, it better involve some dead fiends. Adoptive father, yes. I was very proud when he made First Recon. I know that every time I send them out, I could be sending him to his death. But if it's not me, it'll be somebody else. At least this way I get one more chance to see him. Yeah, I was there. I was Captain Daughtry then. That whole situation was a mess and could easily have been avoided with good intel. The major in charge at the time made a bad call. He thought Bitter Springs was full of Great Khan raiders, so we surrounded the place. By the time any of us realized there were civilians down there, women and children, shooting had already started. The major froze up at the news, and we couldn't get another word out of him. I took over and salvaged the situation as best I could. For my effort, I was promoted to major. Not quite the way I'd have wanted it. We know they supply the fiends with illegal chems, but they never stick around in NCR territory for long. They know the land and move quick. There's talk from time to time about taking out their base at Red Rock Canyon, but nothing ever comes of it. The Great Khans are tough fighters. If we ever did go up against them on their home turf, we'd win. The casualties would be high. Pack of drugged-out killers. They're addicted to every stim, every pill, every psychoactive enema on this fucked-up earth. I've got 3 fiends that I want dead, and I don't give a goddamn how it gets done. That sound like something that interests you? First one calls herself Violet. God knows why. The name is the prettiest thing about her. Spends most of her time with a pack of vicious dogs. Then there's Driver Nafai. He's fast and he's brutal. Killed about a dozen of my men with a goddamn driver iron. Hence his name. And finally, Cook. Rapist, pyromaniac, and damn good chef if you believe the fiends we've captured. Probably the craziest of the lot. I'm not gonna feed you any bullshit. These aren't your common Vegas trash. They've all killed good NCR men, and plenty of mercs too. You go after them, any of them, you're in for a hell of a fight. So, which one is it gonna be?
Let's go for Cook.
One thing I should tell you about Cook. Piece of shit is pure animal. He raped one of my snipers, and that makes this personal. Also, he's got a flamethrower, and he's damn good with it. From what I hear, he either rapes or burns every living thing he gets his hands on. Only one man's gotten close to killing him, and that's Little Buster. So he says, anyway. Maybe it's bullshit, but I'd still ask him about it. Bounty hunter. Talks big. But he's still alive, so he can't be completely full of shit. I think he's out in the yard, waiting to claim a couple bounties. One more thing. If you want the full reward, you need to bring me a recognizable head. My superiors need proof they're gone. That means no headshots, no decapitations till after they're dead, and no damage to the face. If you want to be safe, aim for the chest. You bring me a head that looks like a rotten tomato, people will be doubting, and I won't be authorized to pay the entire bounty. Good luck to you, and don't get careless. Damn right I am, and I'm paying bounties. Right.
Yep, I'm still here. Shit, I got nothing better to do, right? The rapist with the flamethrower? Yeah, that's a combination I stay the fuck away from. I was stalking him for a while. Real good at that. Watching people from where they can't see me, you know? Only one thing I learned about that asshole. Keeps a bunch of Brahmins. Most of them he roasts whenever he feels like it. But there's one. Must be his pet or some shit. Doesn't let anybody near that Brahmin. Somebody puts a bullet in her, I bet that'd piss him off good. Might make him careless, too. Well, hey, the field's wide open now that I'm gone. Probably lots of people looking to get in once they hear I quit. Hey, yeah.
I don't feel like re-talking all that in case it crashes.
There's a lot more troops here than we thought. No wonder we couldn't hold Helios 1. Yes! Finally! You can't help but notice that the Brotherhood barely exists to these people out here. They're like an urban myth, no real presence on the outside. We just don't adapt like we should. Used to be that all you needed to get your way was a suit of power armor and a laser rifle. Now, people are armed and organized. They're not afraid. But we still stick to our old approach because it's all we know. I think you're right. We're getting desperate. Hardly enough people to sustain ourselves as a chapter. They'll see the light, sooner or later. But I get the feeling if I don't take matters into my own hands, the change won't come in time to make a difference. See you around.
Something I can do for you? I'm usually good with faces, but I don't think I've seen you here before. What brings you to Camp McCarron? You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word. As in chem fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them, and they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen. That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here. I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent, but I think she's hit a wall. Talk to her if you like. See if she has any use for you. Her office is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building. Yeah, on top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out. Calm is what you have to be when people look to you. And it's all you can be when things are out of your hands. Could be better, I'll say that much. We set up here with our sights set on annexing New Vegas. It's a lot of resources that could do a lot of good for us. But that hasn't happened. If anything, they annexed us. They rake in the profits from our soldiers, and we're stuck protecting them from the Legion. Not exactly the plan. Now we're trying to secure the strip and the dam at the same time, and it's costing us. And in the meantime, General Oliver won't approve any offensive maneuvers because he doesn't want to risk losing our positions. So we're in a holding pattern here. And Caesar's on the other side of the river, planning. Well, why not? Given your recent arrival, at least I can safely rule you out as the leak. I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. See what you find. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements, and it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. He can fill you in. It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the strip, and it had already been fortified before the Great War. From here, we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Troop allocation, supply distribution, intel. Usually General Oliver runs the show here, but he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here. And unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. It sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there. Everything was going according to President Campbell's plan at first. We met minor resistance from local troublemakers, but our two main objectives are still contested. Mr. House controls the Strip, and he won't so much as meet with our ambassador. And we're holding Hoover Dam. But Caesar's Legion is positioning itself to overrun it. If it falls, so will New Vegas. We'd be forced to withdraw. Bye.
A little busy at the moment, but I can talk. This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. The smell puts people off, I think. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. Anyway, you get used to it if you give it some time. I know I don't sound the part. Get raised by Brahmin ranchers and you never lose the twang. Drives Hildern crazy. But I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Try to optimize the power output from the dam. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making much progress. Not yet, anyway. Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible. You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. Plenty of mercs go in to see him, though. I can't say. We're not supposed to talk about the research, not the details. If you're interested, I'm sure he'd see you. Nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm almost always in the lab.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22? From Alice. I'll see that she's paid right away. Crimson Caravan runs a tight operation. Even out here in the waste, wouldn't do to keep them waiting. Was there anything else? Or were you just here about the invoice? Wonderful. Straight to it then. Have you signed the release forms? No? Doesn't matter. We'll keep that to ourselves. Vault 22. Where to begin? Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible? Precisely. Science has proven that truth 1,000 times over. But how many wasteland savages believe it? Present company accepted, of course. The bounty I described to you is no idle fantasy. It exists in primitive form only a few miles from where we stand. We need only reach out and unlock its secret. For that, the OSI needs you. Isn't it? One directs one's efforts, or the efforts of others, toward a goal, and progress is made. It's a matter of incentives, nothing more. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated. Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you? I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course. Oh? What might those be? The Office of Science and Industry. It's a rather expansive topic. I could talk for hours, but I'm sure I'd bore you. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. Our work focuses on practical matters: medicine, engineering, biology. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the West. That's only one responsibility of this office. Director of the entire OSI? Me? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to plant seditious ideas in my head. No, I direct our eastern operations. I've been responsible for squeezing unprecedented levels of power from the dam. I'm also confronting the problem of food production in what little spare time I have, but I've found some promising leads. Yes, with the assistance of my team, of course. Not yet, but our government understands the value of proactive thought. Our studies project an imbalance between production and consumption. Or, for a layman such as yourself, not enough food, too many mouths to feed. Mass starvation in a decade or so. We aid some programs the Republic has sponsored involving sharecropper farms in the area. But those haven't panned out too well from what I hear. There have been complaints about the amount of water we're supplying. But those are just excuses for lack of diligence, I'm sure. Directly? No. But we attempt to maximize its output. You have no idea how difficult it is to provide power to an entire nation. I also have high hopes for our Helios 1 facility. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the 2 scientists who are working there. So far, they've only managed to achieve 1% power output. I'd send help if I could spare the personnel. To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu, and I expect him to leave the science to me. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. And the more ignorant they are, the more opinions they have. Yes, goodbye.
Subject E, diagnosis complete. Begin recording. My name is Whitley. I'm a researcher at Adams Air Force Base. Until recently, I was in charge of the Duraframe Reinforcement Project for the combat model iBots. iBot Duraframe Subject E is both the prototype and the last functional model in this test group. I was prepared to make several significant upgrades to the machines. However, as the project was canceled and all Duraframe assets are being diverted to Hellfire armor, I'm sending this model to the Navarro outpost. If you're listening to this log from one of our Enclave outposts in Chicago, give this unit whatever repairs it needs so it can continue to Navarro.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but did he give you a job? Not interested. More concerned. It's just... You're not the first person he sent to Vault 22. And I know he'd never tell you. There were a lot of mercs. One after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs? No, wait. I don't mean to see any harm come to Dr. Hildern. Unless by talk, you just mean talk. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead. I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it. Of course. Anything. Keeley's brilliant. An absolute genius. She plays at being mean, but it's all a front. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them? I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So I'm guessing pretty old. 200 years? Maybe more. Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. They're both death claws in their way. Keeley hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than scientist and gets in the way of true discovery. And Hildern hates Keeley because, well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. In front of important people, usually. Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things. The director? He's very well-spoken and knowledgeable. He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants something from you. And even then, it's kind of a cold warm. Most of the time, I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work, though he tells people that he does. He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keeley, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. Sending people to die in the waste is another. If Hildern tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. What can he do to me? I'm the only one who can run this lab. My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach farmers and ranchers about crop rotation and the like. Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR, give us a bad name with the locals. Dr. Hildern trained with them years ago. Not me, though. I'm an OSI girl. It's foul to tell the truth. Most people try to get what they can from the outside, even if it's just a smuggled candy bar now and then. Contreras is a genius. He can find almost anything you'd want. Takes caps to get him motivated, though. He won't do a thing for free. Right. Stay safe.
Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, so I've got to get it up by 30. 4 levels. Get it to 45 for now, because I need to distribute points. Put medicine to 30. There's a speed check of 50 here, and then 60 here. And I don't actually need speech for a while. I'll just search me on the check.
NCR is investing in new research. We're getting left in the dust. You know, I've been thinking. The real problem with the Brotherhood is that we isolate ourselves. Our training is top-notch, our technology gives us an advantage, but when it all comes down to it, we're losing because we shun the outside world. We always make enemies, never allies. We refuse to recruit outsiders or see the value in their simpler technologies. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what kind of role we could take on that would give us the best chance of survival. But I think things are starting to come together. I know the odds aren't good, but I gotta try. I can't lose them. See you around.
Yes? Something else you needed? I never said you were. You've been speaking to Williams, haven't you? Fair enough. Begging your pardon, But this is beginning to feel like an interrogation. No, you aren't the first person I've sent to the vault. I'm sorry that I neglected to tell you, but I don't see how it makes any difference. All right? I'll admit that it's been difficult to find anyone willing to enter the vault. And I'd rather get the data sooner than later. You have a deal. I'll double your reward if you bring me the data. But this is as high as my budget will allow. Now, I know your time is valuable, so I won't waste any more of it. Feel free to show yourself out.
Boyd's in there with the prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
You guys, you stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place? Not big on reading name tags, huh? That's okay. My name is long and difficult to pronounce. Ready for it? It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be. Sorry, this is state business, what I'm working on. You'd have to do a lot more NCR ass-kissing before they'd let you help me with this one. Yep, see you around.
Hello. Did the Colonel send you? I was hoping he might have changed his mind. I know. I've been crying. Stupid. I'm supposed to be a soldier. My husband, he's a ranger, and he got murdered by a pack of fiends. Goddamn savages laid his body out to rot. Brass won't say it to me straight, but they mean to leave Esteban out there. I can see that plain. You never lost anybody, have you? Not like this. Never had to think about that person you love all alone out there, cooking in the sun like meat. NCR never leaves a soldier behind. That's what the recruiters told us. Promised us. We believed them. His best friend, Jackson, tried. Didn't even get permission from his CO, so it could have cost him a lot. But he never came back. Colonel says he can't spare the men to bring Esteban back home. And the fiends, they put all kinds of mines and traps around his body. Snipers, too. He was out on patrol. Bunch of drugged-up fiends attacked them. Esteban laid down cover fire while the others fell back. One of the men saw him get shot. He didn't die, though. Not then. They tried to go back for him, but there were too many fiends and they had to pull out. Damn savages chased them halfway to McCarron. Ma'am, I'd about given up hope. But you've got to be careful. I don't want anybody else dying on my account. Esteban's body is laid out between some of the buildings, east of the RepCon headquarters. At least that's what his squad mates said. There's an NCR position just north of there. It's on the way. They should be able to tell you what the situation is.
Listen, asshole, I know you're not really an NCR health inspector, so you can cut the restaurant critique routine. And I want my 50 caps back, because I looked it up and there ain't no disease called colorectal implosion syndrome. So I paid you to look the other way for nothing. Wait, you're not... Oh, wow, I'm sorry. You look just like... Never mind, sorry. So what can I serve you up? That's nothing. You just look like the health inspector who stopped through for the yearly inspection a couple of weeks back. I was hoping I wouldn't have to wait another 11 months to see his crooked ass to get my caps back. Ah, well. Anything I can get you? Oh, yeah. You can order up anything you want. As long as it's corn or beans. Just kidding. Haven't you heard? With a few shipments from home and a little variety, the troops are getting restless for some quality grub. You can only do so much as a chef with just corn, beans, onions, and peppers. Well, we haven't had any quality meat in months. Everyone in the camp just eating beans for protein. It isn't pretty. Some of my kitchen machinery is broken down too, so we've been eating mostly raw vegetables. And I'm desperate for spices or seasonings. Anything, just something for the general mood around here. It doesn't need to all come from the same source. There are a bunch of different vendors around who sell meat. Fitz, the Nashes, Crimson Caravan. We've never really tried to go out and organize deals with merchants to supply our food. Already having an overstock of food, we haven't needed to. But we really need some good old red meat on the menu soon. So I'm willing to divert some caps in their direction if they're open to supplying us. Here's the list. We've been scrapping together quick fixes to keep it running for months. I think it finally crapped out and needs a full overhaul. It's the goofy machine behind the counter in the corner next to the stove. I'd be much obliged if you could take a look at it and get it fixed up. I don't know. Try the various traders around the waste. Or the pawn shop in West Side might have some parts. Oh, I've heard of a place called House Tools you could check out. It's an old factory on the north side of Vegas. Just a word of warning, though. I hear no one who goes in there comes back out. Could be traps, crazy robots, or who knows what's in that place. The Crimson Caravan would probably be able to arrange a regular shipment, but I don't know of any spices known to improve mood. Hell, we have a whole research department. One guy's even set up in the main terminal building. They're the ones who ought to be looking into it. What can I do for you?
If you're looking for a quick stitch, I'm your man. Here's what's currently available. Thanks. Bye.
You're back. Mental trauma can be just as debilitating as physical injuries. Fortunately, I'm well qualified in such treatment. I'll make time in my schedule. Take care.
Welcome back. Well, you've proven yourself reliable so far. Would you be interested in more important jobs? As much as I like to handle matters personally, I can't be everywhere at once. There is a negotiation with a smaller trading outfit that I'd like resolved as quickly as possible. There's also the matter of Henry Jameson, an employee whose services I'd rather do without. His family connections make it difficult, however. And finally, I need someone to acquire the Gunrunner's manufacturing specifications. This job needs to be quiet. No alarms, no deaths. There's a small trading outfit, Cassidy Caravans, that I'm interested in acquiring. They've been rather competitive, so it's time to buy them out. I have it on good authority that the owner, Cass, wants out of the caravan business. Cass frequently trades with the NCR, so you'll likely find her at the Mojave outpost. The quality of the Gunrunner's armaments is due to their manufacturing process. They craft all weapons on site. I want to know the secrets of their manufacturing process, which means you'll need to find some way to get inside their heavily guarded factory. I would greatly prefer that you perform this job undetected and without killing anyone, if it can be helped. The Jamesons are very wealthy ranchers back in Redding, California, and significant investors in the Crimson Caravan Company. I was pressured into posting young Henry as the manager of the New Vegas branch. As you can see, he wasn't exactly cut out for the job. He was much more interested in gambling and prostitutes. Because of his family, I can't simply fire him. Henry needs to be convinced to quit, one way or another. I won't have a useless employee on the company payroll. Thank you. Was there something else? It's been a pleasure.
Should have brought some.
I'll sit tight.
Yeah, I can't do that yet.
Does jump. They'll never.
Let's go get Veronica her armor. Whoops.
If you're looking to buy or sell, won't be a problem. We have plenty of spice traders working with us back home, and we could get meat from the local Brahmin ranchers. The bigger issue is payment. To supply the camp with meat will cause some serious caps. This is business. I really can't cut him a deal on the cost. That should work. We'll do a weighted exchange based on the going value of meat and vegetables. Water is invaluable in this dusty hole. Let McCarron know they should expect the first shipment in a week or so. Maybe. What do you want to know? Trade routes, my friend. Trade routes. Just about every major town in the wasteland has a Crimson Caravan branch in it. Out here, we usually split our caravans into smaller bands. That way, we don't lose everything if they get hit. It's not very efficient, though. But hopefully, we'll be able to start running larger caravans once things get civilized. A little place in the NCR called Oak Creek. Used to be a farming town until it got taken over by ranchers. I didn't want to herd Brahmin for a living, so I signed on with the Crimson Caravan and headed east. Not much to tell, really. Need anything else? Can do. See ya.
Aw, just when the standing around was getting exciting.
I've got your back.
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Howdy, partner. Any luck? Dang it. I hope you'll keep looking. Happy trails, partner.
Hey, youngster. Still hanging about Prim, huh? Later.
Hey there.
Welcome back. Good to see you again. Does sound good, don't it? How many rad scorpion glands you got? Is that right? Then hand them over, and I'll get to baking a whole batch of casseroles. Later.
Fine by me. Not my strong suit, but okay. Yeah, you and me both. Fine by me.
What is it? If that's what you think. Alright. Guess I'll be around Novak for a while longer until I figure out what I want to do with myself. See you around.
What's up? Why does everyone always say that? Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
Alright. We'll finish exploring this bunker on the next one, but I've got to go for now, so... maybe not. Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.